Hello everyone, this is Catherine from Catherine's Granny Squares. Today it is very hot in the UK, but I wanted to carry on doing some crochet. So I decided to design these neat little coasters. They're very quick to make and they're made with cotton yarn, which is easier to work with in the heat, and you have something to put your beverage on once you finish your project. So let me show you how I made these little coasters. I'm going to be using an Aran weight cotton yarn and a 5mm crochet hook, and we'll start off by chaining 6. We'll join and we'll make a little circle. Just use a slip stitch to join to make your circle. We're going to start with the half treble stitch and we'll do 2 chains first, and then into the middle of the circle we'll make 7 half trebles. Just take it nice and slowly with your crochet. It's hot here, so I'm doing it nice and slowly because everything gets very sticky. But when you're a crocheter, you do want to carry on with your crochet in the heat. It's just finding a project to do that you can carry on with, and this is a nice quick project to finish, but as I say, I just take my time and do it nice and steady so I can still enjoy it. So we're going to put 7 half trebles into the circle. We're going to be counting this 2 chain as a stitch. So I'm going to be joining to make that a stitch. Let's just check. 2, 4, 6, 7. So we'll join with a slip stitch to the top of that 2 chain. And that will complete your first round. You can close your circle by pulling on the end. Next, we're going to be making some loops. To do that, we're going to chain 4 and we're going to join with a slip stitch, not in the first stitch but in the second stitch along. We want 4 loops, so we're going to do another 4 chains, and again we're going to miss the first stitch and we're going to join into the second stitch with a slip stitch. Do another one. We're in that one, so miss a stitch, go into the next stitch, join with a slip stitch, oops, slippy because of the heat there, and one more. Miss a stitch, join with a slip stitch into the next one. Hopefully that's given us 4 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do 4 chains again. And we're going to go into these loops and we're going to put 6 trebles into the loop. So we're not going to count this chain. You've got your 6 trebles into the loop, do a chain, and then before we move on to the next loop, we're going to fill this little gap here with a treble. And then we'll do another chain, and then we're back to filling up the loop again. So we're going to put 6 trebles into the loop. So all the loops are going to have 6 trebles. Six. Once you've got your 6, same as before, do 1 chain, and again we're going to put a treble into this little gap here. It's where you missed your stitch before. So a treble into the gap, do 1 chain, and then it's just the same again, repeating what we've just done to fill up your loop. Again, put a single treble in this gap with a chain either side, and I'll meet you when I'm filling up this loop. So I'm now filling up the last loop. Just checking I've got my 6 trebles in there. Do 1 chain, and then to finish off we're going to go into the 3rd chain of this 4 chain that you made at the beginning. So just count up, find the 3rd chain, and then just join in there with a slip stitch. Just take that out a minute. So we've got our 4 loops filled with trebles, and in between we've got this single treble, and the last one is made up by going into the 3rd chain. Now we're going to repeat the trebles. You can now change colours if you wish. On this one I did my treble round like I've just done, and then I changed colour. So I'll do that now and just cut off this yarn, and we'll join one of the bright colours. I do like bright colours. They give a nice splash of colour against the white. So I'll go for the yellow again. So we're just going to join in this nice bright colour. So we want to join on top of one of these single trebles. That's where you finished, and I'm going to join on this next treble round. Just so as I've not got two joins together. Then I'm going to do 4 chains, and I'm going to do this round treble on treble. So I've done 4 chains there, so I'm going to start putting trebles on top of this little section of trebles. Some more yarn. Just make sure you've got your 6 trebles. Don't count this chain. When you've got your 6 trebles, do 1 chain and then put a treble on top of that single treble that you made. Do a chain, and then we're going on top of these trebles now. And just take a moment to check you've got all your trebles. Do a chain, and then we're back to putting a treble on top of the single treble, and then do a chain. So I'm just going to repeat that, doing the 6 trebles on top of the next set of trebles, and doing a chain, a single treble on top of this single treble, a chain, and then I'll meet you. So I'll meet you when I've done that. So I'm just finishing off the last little section of trebles here. Again, just making sure I've got the right number. Do a chain, and then the last single treble we made by joining on the third chain up on that chain of 4 that you made at the beginning. And this is what you should have. Now to finish off, we're just going to do a little round of double crochet. We're going to do 1 chain and we're going to work into the back loop. So go into the back loop and we're going to go all the way round the yarn, just split a bit there, so let me just make sure I've got all the strands. Go into the back loop all the way round with a round of double crochet. So going to make a little rim. Oh, nearly did a treble there, didn't I? If you've watched my videos, you know that I could do trebles in my sleep. Right, just get the back loop, not the front, not both. We want just the back loop. That will give that nice little rim. I do like this technique, going into the back loop. It gives that nice little ridge which will finish off your coaster nicely. So that's all I'm doing, is going into the back loop of the stitch, and the yarn is splitting there. Just have to watch with cotton, it is a natural yarn, so just take your time and enjoy your crochet. So I'm going to go all the way round in the back loop only to make my little ridge, and I'll see you in a moment. I'm nearly round with these double crochets, working into the back loop only. So just finishing here. When you come to the end, don't join on top of the chain, join on top of the first double crochet you made and go into both loops and join with a slip stitch. Be a little bit tough there. Just come out of that one and see. Yes, that is where I want to join, so I just need to persevere and get that through. And let me just cut that yarn. Tie off there, and there we have your little coaster. Obviously we'll do the ends in a moment. So let's do a couple of ends. If your circle hasn't closed very well, this is where it will do. When you put in this end, you just work your way around with catching some of the stitches, and then as you do that, just pull, and your ends going round, as you go around, will just close that circle nicely. And then of course you've got the other ends. Now this one finishes at the end of a treble, so just weave up along the line of the stitch, and then it'll be easier then to find some stitches to work along. You want to be securing your ends about 3 times, at least 3 times anyway. Just pick up some stitches. These coasters are hopefully going to be used, so as I say, you want these ends nice and secure because cotton is very hard wearing. You'll be able to use these and pop them in the wash. Just get these in so I can show you the completed project. What I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to take it back to the front, and then I'm going to pull it a little bit, and I'm going to go back again just to give a neater finish there. And again I'm just going to work down, picking up some of that stitch line there, and then pick up some stitches to secure your work. And let's just do this last one so I can say finish off the project 100% to show you. So we've got one last one. Again, I'm going to go down and give a little pull so that it evens the knot out a bit, and I'm going to take this one along here, I think. I'm only doing these because I want to show you the finished project. I'm sure you know how to do the ends. It's just a little tip going up the stitch line I tend to do. Right, let me just pop that in. Make sure you get all the threads with cotton. I would probably do that another time, but I just want to, another time through some stitches, but I just want to show you the finished project. And there we have your little coaster with your splash of colour, which is nice and summery. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, it doesn't cost anything if you want to do that, and if you click the bell you'll be notified as and when I put up another video. These are a quick project to make in this heat that we're having at the moment, and at the end, as I say, you've got something useful to put your glass on. So happy crocheting everyone, and I hope to see you again either on the channel or when I do Hello from Catherine's Granny Squares. Happy crocheting everyone. Bye for now.